What if the next big leap in APS-C cameras is not about speed alone, but about rewriting what resolution even means at this size? That is the question quietly forming around the Canon EOS R7 Mark II. The original R7 already changed expectations by blending reach, speed, and modern autofocus into a compact body. Now, leaks suggest Canon might be preparing something far more ambitious, a rumored 40 megapixels stacked sensor. That single detail could reshape how this camera shoots stills, tracks motion, and even handles video. Today, let's slow things down, connect the dots, and explore why this potential upgrade is getting so much attention and what it could mean for the way people actually shoot. At first glance, 40 megapixels on APS-C sounds extreme, but when placed in context, it feels surprisingly logical. Canon has always treated APS-C and full frame as parallel systems rather than watered-down alternatives. The original R7 already carried a resolution philosophy that echoed higher-end bodies. A move to 40 megapixels continues that thinking. The key detail here is not just resolution, but the idea that this sensor could be stacked and backside illuminated. That changes everything. A stacked design dramatically improves readout speed, which affects rolling shutter, autofocus responsiveness, and burst shooting behavior. Resolution stops being just about detail and starts influencing how fluid and confident the camera feels in motion. A stacked sensor opens doors that traditional designs simply cannot. Faster readout means electronic shutter becomes more reliable, not just an option used cautiously. Panning with fast-moving subjects becomes cleaner. Tracking wildlife or sports feels more predictable. If Canon pushes burst rates higher while maintaining autofocus accuracy between frames, APS-C begins to feel like a deliberate choice rather than a budget-driven one. This is where the R7 Mark II could quietly shift expectations. Instead of competing on price alone, it competes on purpose. Compared to rivals that emphasize either resolution or video, this camera could sit in a rare middle ground where speed, detail, and usability coexist without constant trade-offs. Accuracy is where 0.2 seconds feels like 2 seconds. Autofocus improvements often sound abstract until they save a shot. Faster sensor readout allows the autofocus system to make decisions with more confidence. On the current R7, subject detection already performs well, but unpredictable motion can still expose limits. A stacked sensor reduces those moments of hesitation. Tracking becomes calmer, more locked in, especially when subjects change direction or overlap. This does not promise perfection, but it suggests fewer surprises when reviewing images later. For photographers who shoot birds, sports, or action-heavy scenes, that reliability matters more than headline specs. Video is where things become delicate and exciting at the same time. A 40-megapixel APS-C sensor naturally raises questions about 8K, but the real value would not be resolution alone. A stacked design improves heat management and readout efficiency, which directly impacts rolling shutter and long recording stability. Even if 8K remains conservative, oversampled 4K could see a meaningful jump in clarity and motion handling. For hybrid shooters, that's the real prize. Clean detail, stable color, and predictable performance during longer takes matter far more than spec sheet bragging rights. This camera would still feel like a hybrid first, not a cinema body, but one that takes video seriously. Leaks suggest Canon is unlikely to disrupt the physical design. That's a smart move. The original R7 already balances well, feels durable, and offers strong weather sealing. Connectivity upgrades like faster Wi-Fi may seem minor, but they shape daily workflow, especially for shooters who deliver on location. When combined with Canon's growing RF lens ecosystem, a higher resolution APS-C body starts to look like a long-term investment rather than a stepping stone. It also hints at Canon testing the waters for future APS-C video-focused bodies, something many creators quietly hope for. So where does all of this leave the R7 Mark II? If the 40-megapixel stacked sensor becomes reality, this camera represents evolution done thoughtfully. Not a dramatic pivot, not a spec-driven stunt, but a calculated step forward. It would reward good technique, strong lenses, and clear intent. It would not be for everyone, and that's exactly the point. For the right shooter, it could feel like APS-C finally growing into its full potential. For now, these are still pieces of a puzzle, but the direction feels deliberate, and that alone makes this one worth watching. What matters most is not the number on the sensor, but whether this direction fits the way you actually shoot. That's the real question worth asking. Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Ever wished Canon would take the little R100 and just add the exact bits vloggers actually want? Well, what if they did that without blowing your budget? Today we're digging into the R100V leaks. The price whisper that it could sit near $650, the specs that promise a vlogger-friendly screen, and the little compromises Canon might make to keep the price low. Stick around because I'll tell you which upgrades matter and which ones are just marketing noise. And I'll reveal the one detail that could make or break this as a first camera for creators. At the heart of these leaks is familiar hardware. Expect a 24.1 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor paired with a Digic 8 class processor. That combo already worked for the R100 and some earlier models, so don't expect a sensor revolution. Instead, think refinement, solid stills, reliable colors, and autofocus that you can mostly trust. Autofocus is rumored to stay dual-pixel CMOS with eye detection and roughly 143 AF zones. Translation: it will track faces and eyes well enough for talking head videos without you having to babysit focus on every take. Video is where the 100-volt is supposed to get modest but meaningful upgrades. Leaks point to uncropped 4K up to 30 frames per second and 4K 60p in a cropped mode. Full HD up to 60 frames per second for slow motion is expected too. No Canon log, which means less flexibility for hardcore color grading, but a 10-bit HDR PQ mode should help beginners get punchier results straight out of camera. In short, it's more capable for vlogging than the R100, but it won't replace a higher-end hybrid if advanced video tools are your priority. Here's the headline everyone keeps circling: a 3-inch vari-angled touchscreen. That flip-out display is the single most practical upgrade for vloggers and solo creators. Imagine framing shots while holding a microphone, or seeing your composition from weird low angles without guessing. To hit the target price, the EVF will likely be absent, and the body should stay compact at around 356 grams without an electronic viewfinder. That keeps the setup lightweight and pocketable, exactly what someone starting a channel wants. Expect a single UHS Gen 1 SD card slot, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for quick transfers, and Canon Camera Connect compatibility, so you can remotely control the camera from your phone. Continuous shooting near 6.5 frames per second with the electronic shutter should be decent for casual action shots. Battery life is rumored to be about 450 shots per charge on the same E17 battery. No fancy weather sealing or top-tier stabilization here. Those are the trade-offs to keep the price approachable. If these leaks hold up, the R100V looks like a sensible step forward: familiar sensor and processor, better video ergonomics thanks to the vari-angle screen, and modestly improved recording options while staying under that $650 threshold with a kit lens. It will be a great choice for beginner vloggers, students, and creators who want an upgrade from smartphones without paying for pro features they will never use. If you need Canon log, 4K 60pi uncropped, or pro-level stabilization, look higher. Otherwise, this could be the pragmatic pick worth waiting for. So what do you think? Is a vari-angle screen and uncropped 4K enough to make you wait for the R100V? Or would you buy the R100 right now and skip the rumor cycle? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me which spec you care about most. And if this video helped you decide, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next camera rumor deep dive.